Hi. In today's conversation, I'd like to talk about interviewing over the phone and a few simple guidelines of etiquette, which were very helpful to me when it came to phone interviews. Some call it phone etiquette. I like to call it phone candy because it sweetens the experience for both people involved. So here are the four guidelines. Guideline number one is to stop calling it an interview and to begin calling it a conversation. I'd pick up the phone and say, thanks for your time in having this conversation with me. The second guideline is when I was presented with a tricky question, I would mention that I was presenting context first before answering the question. As an example, when I was asked a tricky question, I'd say, before I answer your question, I'd like to provide a little bit of context. I would go ahead and provide that context and then ease into the question. This makes it a lot easier, smoother, and sweeter for both people involved. Guideline number three is to request feedback, immediate feedback, on a tricky question. For instance, I would answer the question and immediately follow that up by saying, is this what you were expecting? Or has this answered your question? Or is this what you were looking for? Doing so helps you create a more conversation-like atmosphere, makes it less of an interview where one person is asking most of the question and the other person is responding. It becomes less of an interrogation, less of an interview, and more of a conversation. Guideline number four is to show appreciation. Show appreciation for the person who is having a conversation with you. So regardless of whether or not my application would move forward, regardless of whether or not the conversation went well or was below my expectation, I would always say, thanks so much for taking the time to have this conversation with me. I truly appreciate the work that you're doing in speaking with all these potential candidates, and I hope that you find the best person for the job. So show appreciation. So guidelines again is call it a conversation, mention context, request immediate feedback on tricky questions, and show appreciation. A job search in itself can be quite a bitter experience, specifically if you're going through some difficult life circumstances. So give out some candy over the phone and sweeten the mood for everyone. Good luck.